No, I mean, thinking about death is like I think it's kind of a terrible thing to do, but I think about it a lot. But I think it's sort of like a sin because it's just indulgence. Mm-hmm. And then, you don't want to get to the point where something happens and you're like, why did I spend all that time thinking about death when I had life? Like, you don't want to hit that point where you're no longer sound but sick, and then go, God, why did I spend my whole life ruminating about an inevitability? And also, like, not to get too deep or anything about this, but I think about a lot. But the way I came to feel that I try to tell myself is that since when you're dead, you're not alive, and since when you're alive, you're not dead, you and death will never actually cross paths. So there's really nothing to be afraid of.
Except for that half hour where, time's coming.
Yeah, well, you know what the good part is about the end, is you got no pain because they got morphine. They're jamming syrettes of morphine in your neck. Like, that's why it's like, my grandfather died peacefully. Yes, because he was on so much narcotics. That's why he fucking died peacefully. It's not because... If you went back like 200 years, those guys didn't die peacefully. They were just fucking howling for 3 days with black bile pouring out of their nose. This is all funny stuff.
It's not all about the laughs. But no, you talk about this on stage in a funny way, about your dark thoughts about the end of life. So you're saying in your real life, though, you've just told yourself there's no point in fretting about an inevitability.
Well, I try.
Are you successful at that?
No, I'm not successful. I just try to tell myself that. But in the deep of night,
that's when it hits.
Yeah, that's not fun. And like my worst moments in life is when I get up late at night and go in the bathroom and turn the light on and look into my own eyes. But anyways, I try to, you try to keep it at bay. You try to keep all those thoughts at bay, and like, in a sense, like that. That's why I think like routine is important. I have a job where, like, there's not routine. You have to self-impose routine. But I think that, to me, like, the key to unhappiness is, like, just indulgence. Like, with anything, if you indulge in sex or in alcohol or in drugs or in video game, it doesn't matter. If you indulge in things, you're not happy. And I think, like, our previous generation, they never indulged in anything. Like, my dad worked all day and then he'd have a couple of beers, and I'm sure those beers were tasted really good to him. And his vacations, as modest as they were, probably had great value. We indulge ourselves more, and then the generation that follows us really indulge themselves. And I don't know. To me, I think that's where you get unhappy, when you start indulging. That's the key to unhappiness. What am I talking about?
Indulging in Twitter and things like that. Did you hear that Woody Allen interview he did with a French TV station?
No.
He talked about why he just obsessively works from one film. When that one's ended, he moves on to the next one, and it's to get his mind off of dying. Essentially, it's gives him routine, gives him something to do just to keep his mind away from that.
Yeah. God, that's depressing. No, but I can see what he means. Like, I remember when my dad retired, because that was his whole dream, was retiring his whole life. Like, it was always to retire. And then when he retired, he forgot to think of something to do. Like, he didn't have hobbies or anything. So then he was just sitting around the house, and, like, he was sad because, Like, he just had this idea of retirement, and he had this idea that doing nothing would be a wonderful thing, which, is just natural for us to think. But no, I think that must be why Woody Allen or Clint Eastwood or stuff would work like that when they have so much money, is to not be alone with your thoughts and to be distracted. Like, one time I went to a psychiatrist because I was gambling too much, and he told me, you do that to, like, avoid life. And then that was my argument, was like, that's why you do everything, is to avoid. You live life to avoid life, in a way. Like, you live the minutia of daily existence. You wake up, and then you eat. You wash your face and shower and have the exact same conversations with the exact same people over and over and over and over again, just to kind of achieve some self-hypnosis, so you stay away from thinking about. This is why people that do drugs, I think the drugs take away the defense of, if they take very powerful hallucinogenics or something, they probably are thinking more clearly in some ways about life, in the sense that they no longer worry about finding food or talking to friends. They start thinking about real things, and it's so horrifying that they get psychotic breaks and so forth. Again, this is all hilarious stuff.
It's not a comedy show. It's a show about comedians. Because I find it fascinating. Now, is it a function of age, or have you always had these thoughts? Like I say, I thought a lot about death, and it's not that I obsess over it. It's just that I'm curious. I wonder, and I think. I studied philosophy, and I think about when that happens, right? So, is this more something that's you're thinking a lot more about now, or have you always been this way?
Well, I remember when I was young, I think I was the most terrorized by the idea. But it might have been other. Maybe I was worried about my parents dying or something like that. But no, I was always like afraid. I was afraid of like something random just happening that could knock me out of the game real quick, or. I'm very cautious. Like, I don't do anything that can put me in situations, because people go, "Oh, you got to live," But you can just you can live by being cautious and careful, and not doing like. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to jump out of a plane. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to jump out of no plane, and I'm not going to do any drugs that'll kill me. And I'm not going to drink alcohol all the time, because that stuff, I don't want to. I just want to grow. I just want to grow old and die a slow, like, painful death. No, I don't know what I want, but it is. But now that, like, because now I'm kind of. Because I'm 48, so I'm kind of like always thinking 20 years in the future and trying to figure out how I can be in good enough shape to. But also, I think I should do something before then, like I should go travel and see someplace, because I don't want to be like them old people that they start traveling when they're hit 80 or whatever, and then they're on a bus with other people being herded around. I was thinking in my mind that I'd like to take a train across Canada again, like I did when I was young and stuff. Well, I'm still young enough I'm still ambulatory. Oh my God, this is getting funnier by the moment.
I don't want to be traveling when I'm 80 and dying on the plane or the bus, because that would be embarrassing. And I think you kind of talk about that too.
Geez, I was just reading. That's weird. Because I love Russians, and I read Tolstoy a lot, but I don't know anything about him. But a guy told me, because I don't read biographies and stuff, but a guy told me that Tolstoy was they did this movie called The Last Station with Christopher Plummer, where he played Tolstoy. But anyways, he was apparently obsessed with death, and he wanted to be an ascetic because he was born a count, but he never had the courage to like just give everything up. And then finally one day he said, I'm just giving. He was old though, like late 70s. He said, I'm giving everything up and I'm just going to wander the world like Christ. And then he went to the train station and died.
On his way.
Yeah, at the train station. So he waited too long, you know. Again, you know, this is
fascinating.
This place is nice. What the hell are you doing? Checking for electric eyes. What's for electric eyes?
I also forget how poetic he is.
Yeah.
You know, with Norm, like, I didn't know him that well in the 90s. And then when my dad died, I had to do a movie with Norm. I tried everything to get out of that movie because I was inconsolable. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't get out of it. And working with him was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It was like he was the right guy at the right time.
Freeze! You're under arrest. Details are sketchy.
I was inconsolable.
Did he talk to you about your dad a lot? Or what did he do?
Never came up.
Uh-huh.
He just made me laugh.
Yeah, right.
He just, you know, and it was, you know, wistful and musing. And you know, Norm is, he never knew he was setting something up or not. We were just hanging out, and all of a sudden it'd be like this punchline out of nowhere. But
Dinner time, dog!
No! They got me eating kibble! Ah, what is that? Oh, is that urine? Oh, it is!
it started to become like a work was like a church I go to. Like I couldn't wait to get to work and just hang around this guy. And I knew he was special.
Yeah.
And I've known people for years and years that didn't make me laugh as much as he did in that 8 or 10 weeks. So he's like a real special person to me. And the way he's funny, I just never seen someone get at it like that.
What's the note in your hand?
What'd you do that for?
I was scared.
The last time I saw him was at the Comedy Store, and he was uncharacteristically emotional.
Yeah.
Like when we parted company, he was. And there's a picture of me and him and like the back of Chris Rock's head. I put it in my special. That picture that's in the end of the closer was the last time that I saw him. And he stood there. He came up, he stood behind me. I looked, he looked up, and I realized he was posing for the picture in hindsight. Like a gift.
That's nice.
It was a very fitting goodbye. Remember the day before the lockdown, Norm had some set that went viral. It was a cookie jar dunk. I remember like me and my buddies in Ohio were all like, yo, did you see this NORM MACDONALD set? It was on YouTube, probably still on there.
I wasn't going to talk about the coronavirus. But on the way here, I got really ill. It's funny that we all now know how we're going to die. It's just a matter of what order at this point. I went to the Costco and everybody trying to buy shit and everything. Like the end of the world. And I'm like, anything? And they go, you gotta make yours. I'm like, I don't know how to make Purell. Oh, I can't touch my fucking face. Remember the good old days when washing your hands didn't take 3 hours? Like A, B, C, D. Just take me now.
destroyed. And he even...
Oh, right. At the Improv, right, when he talked about the pandemic.
It was a
incredible.
cookie jar dunk. And you could tell it was off the rip. And it was all that, you know, all the anxiety that the day before the whole world goes into lockdown.
Yeah.
And he was just on some fuck it. And it felt so good. Again, it made me feel like everything's gonna be fine.
So the mind never wanders too far from, you know, like I'll be talking about all kinds of horse shit up here tonight, but every moment I'll be thinking of this disease. Just to let you know. Just getting away from you guys a little bit more. Oh, God damn, I can taste the baby laxative in this fucking cocaine. But it was a good idea you made. It was a good choice tonight to come out and sit beside total strangers. At least I might be here. I can run, you know? At least I can flee when I see it.
Today there was a story about, like, you know, Dave Chappelle released a special on Netflix today.
Oh, he did today?
And,
Yeah.
And there's a joke in there where he says that it was okay what Kevin Spacey did to Anthony Rapp because Anthony Rapp grew up to be gay anyway. And he went on to say it's actually not okay, but he's taking some heat for it. Do you think it's right or wrong or for him to say something like that? Do you think it's okay to say? Or what do you think?
I think Chappelle's the greatest comedian.
Yeah. You said something that reminded me of, I don't know what story he was telling me, but the story was, in the beginning of the story, he's telling me he used to go to this Christian revival church. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I didn't really believe any of this stuff. I go, then why'd you go? And I love what he said. I don't even remember what he was talking about. He goes, because it made me feel good.
So this is where the old bitch sleeps, huh?
Do you remember that Star Search bit he used to do? The scaffolding in the bit was always the same, but I'd never seen him do it the same twice. And he would just make up these crazy Star Search intros. Star Search. This next band's been kicking around the Miami area for the last 15 years. Give it up for overnight sensation, he'd say. And he would do that, like he had a million of them. And I'd seen him do the bit a bunch of times, never the same. The lyric, the scaffolding was the same, the lyrics always changed.
And Star Search, you ever watch that? That's my favorite show, you know? Especially the junior dance category. That's my favorite, you know? And Ed McMahon always introduces them there, you know? Hot property! You know? They come out and they're dancing. Too cute for you! You know? And you don't even see junior dancers anywhere else. You know, that's the only show that you ever see them, you know? You know, it's never like you go, hey, honey, what do you want to do tonight? Maybe catch a movie, get a beer or something down at the bar? Or, hey, I know, what about that new club down there where they got the 6-year-olds dancing? Maybe we could go down there. I understand Hot Property's going to be there tonight, you know? I've never seen them live. I've only seen them on TV. But I love Stars. They always name their groups like that in Star Search, too, right? Hot Property and The Next Big Thing and stuff like that, you know? As if that helps, you know? So I was like, and now, this next band has been kicking around the Boca Raton area for the last 16 years. Now, America, say hello to Overnight Success! Then it always looks bad when they lose, you know. It's always, well, another tough decision for the judges. Our challengers, Overnight Success, receive 1.25 stars. And where do they get the judges on that show? Do you ever see the judges on Star Search? You know, they always kind of got those lame credentials there, you know, kind of suspicious, you know. So I was like, and now it's time to meet our judges. The president of Tri-Media Artists, He represents such stars as Meadowlark Lemon. Okay, thanks a lot, folks.
If any of you wish to be a comedian, study Sticks and Stones, a comedy special from the Peerless One. If you don't consider Chappelle funny, you are wrong. If you are a comedian who does not see that he is the best we have, quit. I used to think Dave Chappelle was the next Pryor. Now I think he's the next MLK. Very proud to count you as a friend, Dave. I was pretending to be asleep, but I wasn't. And he came in, and he was very quiet, and he came up to me, and he kissed me on that area between my forehead and the bridge of my nose. He kissed me right there, and he said quietly, so as not to wake me, "I love you, son." And then he left. And the next day, I wanted to say something to him at breakfast table, but he was already out. He was driving hack. That was his second job. But my God, my dad. Anyways, they don't remember that at all. All they remember is, you know, because. Unfortunately, that's the way human beings are. I think if I were to do it, I don't think I ever would. But you never know. You can't predict the future. I could wake up one day and go, I want to have one of them orgasms. That's 3/2 times as strong as the... I knew that advanced math degree was going to come in handy sometimes. I just did not know when. This is what I would do if it ever happened to me. I would disguise it so it looked like an actual suicide. Because then, when I was found, my son wouldn't go, ah! He'd go, oh, mysterious. Dad's a mysterious guy. It's going to be a pretty cool story from here on in. So I would pretend, you know, it was a real suicide. Like I would write a note, a suicide note. Do you think this would be funny, just as a practical joke, if you just wrote a suicide note and just blamed some random guy? Do you think that would be, you know what I mean? You know, like your barber or something like that, you know, it was all Ralph Abernathy's fault. Because you know the police would be compelled to go to Abernathy's barbershop and go, have you ever heard of a fella named NORM MACDONALD? I go, yeah, he'd come in every couple of months for a trim. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he took his life because of you. He wrote it here in this letter. Would you like to keep the... And then Ralph Abernathy would have to spend the rest of his life walking down. Life's hard enough without having to... That's not a good practical joke. I should never have framed that as a good practical joke because it's probably the worst practical joke. You know, it's the kind of practical joke gets you raped by the devil for all of time. I came here from Las Vegas, Nevada, and when I was on the air, where do airplanes go from? Airports. I was in the airport, and guys were asking, everyone wanted my ID, and it occurred to me that ID is a strange abbreviation because I is short for I, and then D is short for identification. So Seems to me D is doing most of the legwork on that one. But Vegas was cool. They have a motto in Vegas. They got their own slogan for the city. It says, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," which is not true. You know, you can't kill a guy and then just leave, you know? They'll follow you. They'll find you. They'll bring you back and they'll try you in front of a jury of your peers. So I thought, well, what does it mean anyways? You know, and I ruminated about it days and days and nights. Sleepless weeks became sleepless more weeks. And finally, it occurred to me. It was so simple. It was right in front of my face the entire time. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. All it really means is you can go to Vegas, you can have sex with a prostitute, and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet, the Las Vegas prostitutes. You know? Not like these gossipy small town whores back where you live, you know? These fucking blabbermouths. Down at the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever the fuck that is. Going, "You're Marge Majerison, John Neal's wife?" Well, by God. I took a shit on him last night. In exchange for cash. Nice fella. My favorite thing is the magic phones that we all have. You know, not so long ago, phones were not magic. They were just used to telephone people. And they couldn't take pictures, you know? If you wanted to take a picture, this was only like 20 years ago, you would have to use it. You couldn't use a phone. I remember I tried, go, "Okay, just hold on there." Just, people go, "What are you doing?" I go, "Don't worry, I was kind of ahead of my time," but they thought, no, you had to use a camera, and then you would put film in the camera, and then you would go to a photo mat. It was wonderful, and you'd give it to this old man, and he'd go behind some beads and stuff, you know? And then you go, "When am I gonna see them pictures?" And you go, "I don't know." And then you go, "I'll phone you every couple of weeks. How'd that be?" And then one day you got the news. Your pictures were ready. And so you brought your whole family and you all showed up and you got that envelope. It was wonderful. And you opened that seal, you know, and then there were the pictures, a whole handful. Like you go, "Hey, look at this. It's a picture of Aunt Ida, but her eyes are red like the devil." Maybe Aunt Ida's the devil. "Hey, look at this. It's a picture of my dog, but I put a hat and glasses on it so it would look like a person." Still looks kind of like a dog a little bit. "Hey, look, it's a picture of you, but look at your jacket and your hair. Ah! Look at the way you used to dress. Ah! Remember that hair?" So you needed that time for the picture to make any sense or have any resonance. You know, nowadays you go, "Hey, would you like to see a picture of you standing right where you are 1 second ago?" I got one here. "Your hair is identical." Guess it would be, huh? In the real old days, they would take pictures like, and at my house, I have a picture of my great-grandfather, and I only have one, you know? Back then, they only had one picture of everybody because they'd pull that thing and it would explode and all that shit, you know? And it was just nobody was happy because it took so long to get your picture taken. And so it's just my great-grandfather going, "How long is this gonna take, Sarah? Who's gonna feed them hogs?" Damn sure ain't gonna be Marjorie, I'll tell you that. You know what else I like about the magic phone? Wikipedia. Oh, you ever use that? That's the best, man. It makes a democracy out of smartness. Everybody's equal now. You know, used to be a guy would go to school 5, 6 years, and then he'd talk to me, and I'd be like, ah. But now it's all different. I got my magic phone in my pocket. So a guy will say to me, he'll go, hey, Norm, you ever hear of a fella that went by the name of Claude Monet? And I go, why, of course I have. I got to go to the bathroom. And I go to the bathroom. And I'm in there 20, 25 minutes, and I come back. I go, hey, listen, I was just, we were talking about Claude Monet, and I just wanted to say that, you know what I liked about him was his paintings. I liked the way he painted. He was a painter, and I loved how he used the paint to make paintings. And the guy goes, God damn, Norm, I've never been able to stump you in 2 years. I go, But I looked on because I like learning on my Wikipedia, and I looked because I was wondering about fame, the nature of fame, because it's changed so much, you know? And when I was young, it was one thing, and now it's a whole different thing. And I was wondering how many people have been to the moon, like have actually walked on the moon. So I looked on my magic telephone and I found out only 13 or 14 in the entire history of the world. You would think that would make you very, very famous. But no. The last guy who walked, now you'd think he would be famous for being the last guy to be on the moon. His name was Harrison Schmitt. Now, who ever heard of him? Meanwhile, he goes all the way to the moon, hangs around there for a while, and comes back. He's not famous, but a girl with a giant ass is famous. Now, when I was young, a man who went to the moon was famous. And a lady with a giant ass, you'd go, can you stand over there? Because this is... Harrison Schmitt. So how many people that went to the moon do we even know? There was, we know the first ones. There was Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. They went Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. And even the third is hard to remember. His name was Michael Collins. And Michael Collins, in one of the just most unfair jokes, I don't know what it was, he got to go all the way to the moon, but not go on the moon. All the way to the moon, and then that little rope ladder, he wasn't allowed to go down. He had to stay in the lunar capsule while Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong went on the moon. And Michael Collins just looking out the window going, are those motherfuckers golfing? Good God, they're golfing. Wait a minute, they got a dune buggy now. I was only allowed to bring so much, and they brought dune buggies. This is... I have to keep up a good face, I guess. And then Buzz and Neil, I'm sure they were nice guys. They didn't want to hurt Michael Collins, you know. So they probably went back, you know, to the lunar capsule, you know, and Michael Collins was like, what do you think, guys? What was the moon like? What was it like? And they were like, ah. It's all right if you like that kind of thing, I guess. I prefer the lunar capsule myself. I can't speak for Buzz, but I really do like the lunar capsule. because that's what you do. You know, most of your life is mundane. So I had to write a book, right? So it was a book about my life. So they said, you know, just write about your life. So I said, oh, thank you, yeah. Yeah, it turned out to be the greatest comic novel ever written, but when it started, it was supposed to be a memoir, you know, a autobiography. So it makes you think about, well, what is my life? So I started thinking about it, right? So I said, okay, I wake up in the morning and I eat some Count Chocula. And then,
continuing with this Saturday Night Live theme, our next speaker is currently in his 4th season on that show. He doesn't do an impression of the president, but he does a great impression of Bob Dole, Andy Rooney, and Charles Kuralt. Recently, he ranked number 2 on Rolling Stone's list of the 101 best things about watching television. And once a week, he gets a taste of our jobs when he anchors that program's Weekend Update. Please join me in welcoming NORM MACDONALD.
all right. I won't be as funny as that last bit. Just so you know, Well, good evening, Mr. President, Mrs. First Lady, and the distinguished members of the Radio and Television Correspondents' Dinner. When I accepted the honor of performing here tonight, one thought crossed my mind, and that was, please, God, don't let me bomb in front of the president. But I'm not worried. What the hell do I care? I worked on all my jokes. I got a lot of help from my joke writer, Don Imus. He was helped me a lot. Are you familiar? You know this guy? He's a funny guy. He wrote some jokes. Anyways, the dinner was great. You enjoy the dinner? We had some salmon. It was delicious. It was great. And I thought it was refreshing to see Democrats serve something other than subpoenas for a change. I thought that was nice, I'll be doing some jokes later. I just thought I'd... But it is rather daunting to me. I'm just a guy, What the hell am I? And here I am, I look out, I see President Bill Clinton, I see Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, media mogul Rupert Murdoch, broadcast legend Larry King, pornographer Larry Flint, Dick Morris. The list is starting to drop off a little, folks, but still, you get the idea. It's daunting. And of course, it was very inspiring to see President Clinton up here on crutches making a speech. I thought that was just amazing, it's been difficult for the president. He can't jog now, and he needs help getting around, and he still occasionally suffers great pain, On the upside, you got your medical marijuana, so that's, You must inhale, sir. It's the only way you're going to get better. But it's odd. I think this is the first time that I can remember that we've had a president that is hobbled, and it's tough on everybody. The Secret Service, it's not easy on the Secret Service. They have had to learn, how to do this, and they've been specially trained on how to lift and carry President Clinton by top experts who've been doing this for a long time. Boris Yeltsin's Secret Service agents. They've stepped in to help, Anyways, excuse me, I'm sorry, folks. Larry Flint and Dick Morris are giving some sort of hand signals to each other over there. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but it's kind of hard to concentrate. Larry Flint is here tonight. But also present this evening, Madeleine Albright, the Secretary of State. Ms. Albright's been very busy, She just returned from Russia, where she, applied for her? Yeah, Madeleine Albright.
She's been very busy. She just went to Russia, where she met with Boris Yeltsin, you know, and they had some talk on NATO expansion. I guess they kind of had a tense meeting, you know, and Ms. Albright came back out. She said, for this I travel 5,000 miles to meet with some drunken Meshuggah? On my worst enemy, I wouldn't wish this. This is... She's changed, you know? That's what I find. She's... But of course, looking around the room, I also see many distinguished members of the Fourth Estate. I see Brian Gumbel is here, and he just signed a multi-year contract, of course, with CBS. And, you know, he took some time off to be with his family after the Today Show, but Bryant in his heart, you know, is a newsman. And after a few weeks, he realized, you know, that he missed the excitement and thrill that you can only get by making millions and millions of dollars. So... And Dan Rather, of course, is here. He's a broadcast legend. I love Dan Rather. You know, I talked to him backstage, and it was a real thrill for me, you know. And he was so excited to be here, you know. I was backstage with him. I've never seen him so excited. At one moment, I remember he broke into a huge frozen smile. And it was... There it is again. There it is. Take a look. That's the huge frozen smile I'm talking about. But we got a lot of power here, a lot of juice. Mr. Rule Arledge is here, of course, the chairman of ABC News, you know, and a lot of crazy stories coming out of that division, you know. You know, stories about this person sleeping with that person and all that, you know. Scandal after scandal. If you heard the latest, I heard this just the other day. There's a rumor that last week, a certain, I don't want to say who it is, a certain gentleman in ABC News, he went to a party and he got really drunk, and he ended up having sex with his own wife. I don't know. I don't know how these rumors get started, but, you know, it's probably just a vicious rumor, really, you know. But as Mr. Arledge knows, of course, TV has become a very tough game. You got to stay competitive, you know. As we all know, ABC's Good Morning America is in a little turmoil, you know, a little trouble, a little rating trouble. And they're considering a lot of ways now, you know, to boost the ratings. And I don't know, I think they're getting a little desperate. I heard that next week Charles Gibson will announce he's a lesbian. I mean, is that going to help anything? Nobody wants to hear that. Martha Stewart is here, and she wanted me to tell you, don't let the busboys clear your table off tonight, because a little later Martha will come up here, and she's going to show us how to take those old discarded fish bones and make a beautiful birdhouse. So... That's nice. I'm very nervous. I don't know why. Before I sip this coffee, actually, sir, how much is it? How much would a cup of coffee cost in a place like this?
Nothing for you.
Nothing, it's free? Okay, great. I didn't want to get, you know, I didn't want to see $90,000 on my bill later. I'm sorry. And of course, there are some important Washington figures who couldn't be here tonight. Vice President Al Gore is not here. Unfortunately, he broke down and they had to leave him in the shop overnight. But they say he'll be all right later. Something wrong with the voice box or something. I don't know what it was. House Speaker Newt Gingrich is not here. A little while back, of course, everybody knows that Newt pushed through a lot of budget cuts in the arts, particularly in PBS, you know, and the effects are being felt now. I can see it, even as a layman, you know, just watching. You know, the other day I watched that show, the Frugal Gourmet. It changed its name to the Cheap Bastard. I mean, it's crazy. And Senator Ted Kennedy couldn't be here. There's a lot of jokes about Ted Kennedy, but I recently watched an interview. It was very touching. Ted was talking about, or Mr. Kennedy, what the hell am I calling him Ted for? Senator Kennedy was talking about how he proposed to his lovely wife Vicki Reggie, and it was very touching. It was a different side of Ted Kennedy that you don't see. He was very old-fashioned and romantic. When he made the proposal, it was very nice. He got up on one knee and he. It was nice. You hear all the stories, but then you hear something like that, it makes you. I'm starting to relax now, I think I'm relaxing a little. And that's not just the booze talking. I think I really am relaxing. It's the Xanax, the Prozac, and the booze talking. But no, I'm a little nervous, who the hell am I? But it's been great to be in Washington, I can tell you that, man. Oh my God, I had a lovely stay here so far. I've been sightseeing, and in fact, I stopped at a museum. This is probably interesting to you guys. They have this news museum now. Have you seen this? It's a museum that's dedicated to broadcast journalism, and they have all sorts of, tributes to Edward R. Murrow and such, and they have this one fascinating place. It's a kind of an interactive display, and visitors, what they can do is they can appear on camera and pretend that they are real journalists, So far, it's been visited 20 times by Matt Lauer, but I guess he's a legend, too. I didn't know. You got Murrow, Severide, Edwards, and Lauer. All right. And also today I took a visit to the White House. For any of you who haven't taken a visit to the White House, unbelievable. So, awe-inspiring and, a lot of rich in history, so beautiful, Although I did notice a kind of an odd sign on the president's desk. It said, the yen stops here. Have you seen it? What the hell's that mean? The yen? I thought it was the buck stops here, I'd always heard. Of course, they say the White House is haunted. Did you know that? And I thought this was kind of sad. I heard last night that President Clinton charged Abraham Lincoln's ghost $10,000 to sleep in his own bed. So that doesn't seem right to me, I mean... But look, the president, has come under a lot of fire for raising money, but, he's good at it. He's good at raising money. That's not a bad thing. Every president's done it. It's just that President Clinton is very, very, very good at it. Do you know he has organized in the past year over 100 fundraising dinners and over 200 fundraising midnight snacks? Did you know that? Is he laughing? Is he... No, but Mr. President, seriously, I know you've had to work through a lot of distractions in doing the business of running this country, and I just want to say, that I implore you, stay focused and do the job, and try to remember, that Rome was not built in a day, I mean, just ask Strom Thurmond, he'll tell you. It was not built in a day. He's an old fella, folks. How would you not know that? I have an announcement to read. I almost forgot. I was told to make this announcement. Table 10, wherever you are, table 10. We're sorry your waitress hasn't been there in a while. Larry King just married her. So... I have to say, though, this is an incredible thing for me. I'm just a punk, and yet here I am, I can't believe I'm speaking in a room. I'm standing in a room here with the most powerful man in the country, Alan Greenspan, and it's a little amazing to me. It's a little, Of course, that's the big story in here in Washington is the The recent marriage between NBC's Andrea Mitchell and Alan Greenspan, who is 71 years old. And this is sweet, you know, I didn't know this. They wrote their own vows, you know. She promised to love, honor, and speak into his good ear. So that was it's kind of sweet, you know. The newlyweds are going to spend their honeymoon in Mexico, and I thought this was sweet. As a gift to his new bride, Alan Greenspan just devalued the peso so that that'll be nice. So, anyways, a little bit more of my coffee. Anyways. You know, it just occurred to me, Mr. President, you are now handicapped, and you're the President of the United States. You must have an unbelievable parking spot, you know? That's got to be very close to the building, you know? But, you got to hand it to the president. His injury is not holding him back from doing the business of the nation. You know, in fact, he just nominated Major General Claudia Kennedy as the Army's first female three-star general. And I think that's great. You know, she's doing a great job. Apparently, the only thing she's having trouble with, she's having difficulty figuring out how to sexually harass herself. She doesn't know how to. What's that? Guy yells my name for no reason. Oh, I have another announcement to make. Is that what you're telling me? That I should make this announcement? You're right. You make a good point with your incoherent gibberish. Here it is. Here's my other announcement. The U.S. State Department, folks, has just issued a travel warning for all women moving past Dick Morris's table. So. I don't know. Well, that's about it for me. I just want to, how about this Heaven Gates call? This is what everybody's talking about. It's unbelievable. And it really is a sad story, and it's hard to comprehend. I mean, think about it. Who in their right mind would believe that you get into a spaceship behind a comet by castrating yourself and committing suicide? I mean, other than Pierre Salinger, who on earth would believe... I just saw him out in the lobby with a pair of sneakers, Nike sneakers, a big purple shroud, going, where are they? Did I miss it? Well, that's it for me, folks. I just want to say, you know, before I go, that it really has been a thrill for me. I joke around about the news, you know, but you people, you do the real thing, and you serve as our watchdogs, and you tell the real stories that come out of this city. And I, for one, you know, think you do a darn good job. And as a matter of fact, I have a message from someone who couldn't be here and wanted me to read it to you. This is from Senator Bob Dole. He wanted me to read this to you. Here it is. This is it. This is from Senator Bob Dole. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, to hell with all of you. You cost me the damn election. You can kiss my ass, every last one of you. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much.
Yo, what up? All right, so we got another one from NORM MACDONALD.
Okay, the great Norm.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, man.
Yes.
But what we got?
This is the best of jokes. So the jokes he be doing.
Right.
Like the one-liners.
Exactly. Which are all good. Clever, you know.
Clever, yeah.
Slightly insulting, most of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You ready, man?
Yes.
Yeah. It's fun doing jokes.
Yeah.
Why do dogs always race to the door when the doorbell rings? It's almost never for them. You know the funniest part of doing an office conga line? When you look back and realize you're doing it alone and you're not in an office, you're in a psychiatric hospital. I've never been on top of trends, I guess. You know, when everybody was burning CDs, I was still burning books. Crowds in Brazil greeted arriving Olympians with signs reading, "Welcome to Hell." I had a wild night last night. I was in an orgy. It was me, my iPad, my laptop, and TV while my phone watched. It's more of a comment, really. I'd like to take this moment to say I endorse podiums. That's a product I can stand behind. What about this one? This is for you.
Yesterday I had a picture framed. Now it's doing time upstate for armed robbery.
Oh, listen to this. Catherine Zeta-Jones admitted she is bipolar half the time. She's deliriously happy, and the other time she has to suck an old man's cock. That's dirty. Come on, man.
A new study shows that most men can identify a gay man by his face alone. It's the face that's buried in another man's asshole.
Hey, how about this? The Dalai Lama said that killing in the name of religion is unthinkable. Hey, thanks, Dalai Lama. I'm sure everybody will fucking listen to you. No one listens to the Dalai Lama.
No one.
I need to have glasses in order to see my family. Specifically, 2 glasses of scotch.
The Al-Qaeda online magazine Inspire has a recipe for a homemade bomb. They also have a recipe for a pretty darn good peach cobbler.
They're not all bad, you know? A new study found that men with beards are more attractive than men without beards. More great work from the University of Bob Seger.
I think there's nothing cooler than being a lone wolf, except at wolf picnics when you don't have a partner for the wolf wheelbarrow races.
Now listen, my girlfriend's mad at me right now. Last night when we were having sex, I yelled the name of her ex-boyfriend. Nice thought. Surname you don't hear much anymore. Flintstone. This one's more like a factoid.
Danny DeVito looks like one of those guys with a short but thick penis.
Okay, here, what about this joke? Call me an old softy. But I'd prefer if you called me a distinguished gentleman with a flagging erection. John Wayne Gacy, man. Not my idea of a clown.
Not funny at all.
No.
That guy wasn't funny.
Barbara Walters announced that she's retiring from The View. Well, actually, she announced it 5 years ago, but no one could hear her over those yammering bitches.
Hey, how about this one? They say pimping ain't easy, Andy. But what they won't tell you is much, much more difficult being a prostitute. Pimping is pretty easy. Barbara Walters is planning to announce her retirement. What's next for Babs? Death. Wow, isn't this wild? When I was told I was going to perform for a bunch of drones, I thought I was being booked on The View.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't.
You ever read a book? Oh, you read that communist thing?
Yeah, I read the Marxist Manifesto.
Who was the better man?
Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King? Stalin. Hey, by the way, I've noticed the term adult toy always refers to something you can shove up your asshole and never like a big race car, like for a grown-up.
Another good observation.
Growing up,
I never would have believed that one day I'd need a computer just to masturbate.
It is strange when you think about it. In my opinion, if you're going to fight the war on terror, a good place to start would be this nation's haunted houses. You know, I may have told you this, but my doctor's getting very rude. The last time I went to him, he said, open your mouth and say oink. I remember, sometimes I get so PC about these things. That movie, The Last of the Mohicans, and they had a big protest. Apparently they weren't using any actual Mohicans. Anyways, white girls who wear big hoop earrings may be guilty of, quote, cultural appropriation. And they risk getting a curse put on them by peeved gypsy fortune tellers.
What the heck?
Wait a minute. These are great jokes, by the way, Steve. Congrats.
Oh, good.
As always.
Steve writes them. Who's
Here's
Steve?
one for you. Here.
Artifacts from Auschwitz are set to go on tour for the first time.
You guys won't stop.
Experts believe that this will be Miley Cyrus's darkest opening act yet.
Wow. I know the Bible says not to covet thy neighbor's wife. Right. But it doesn't say a damn thing about coveting thy neighbor's husband, especially a sweet, hot fucking asshole.
This is sweet hot. Is that in there?
Hey, you're not going to believe this, but Bill Maher is giving away the solution to all our problems for free.
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot-tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, whores.
My father was recently diagnosed with shingles, which is a terrible sickness that usually only affects roofs. I think the reason I most look forward to China ruling the earth is that all of their last names sound like slang for cock.
What?
I'll tell you a joke. You know they had a big black mass devil worship this week, apparently? But I skipped it because I believe you can be just as close to Satan on a golf course as in some stuffy old satanic church.
Deep throat porn legend Harry Reeves. Yeah, he died, but how are they going to close that casket? I mean,
who?
No, it's this thing.
This one says, remember the old days when tweeting meant stabbing a hooker?
Well, what? Tweeting?
Well, this Lindsay Lohan can't swim a stroke, but she sure knows every dive in town. I don't know much about geopolitics, but that is one cool name for a country, Chad.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this one?
Yeah, okay. A 28-year-old med student is auctioning off his virginity online. For $300,000, you can have the worst sex of your life. That's good.
That ain't
That's
bad.
good.
That ain't
Who
bad.
writes these?
Oh, well. This is what you never hear. He made love to me in the ass. Oh, a woman from Denmark I met at a party was telling me how awful she thinks Trump is. So I shot back, yeah, well, you guys have that asshole Hans Christian Andersen.
That's funny.
It's just my patriotism.
when I was a child, my parents told me my uncle was sleeping with the fishes, which at the time I assumed meant he bought a waterbed. Then I found out he had been killed and his body buried at sea.
Dave, say what you will about Elon Musk, but with his new plan to bring people to Mars, nobody is a more creative serial killer. A new report from the CDC states that only 1/3 of Americans use condoms, while 2/3 of Americans are still pretty cool.
Get out! Why do you get a good one? That was good.
My dad would hit me with the belt sometimes.
Yeah, you would have to
But
go
it was
get...
the worst when he was the reigning WWE.
Okay.
You know, I was raised Catholic, and when people find out, they always assume there was some creepy priest involved, you know. But they never suspect the deacon. Fucking ass. Adam Egan with a joke.
Yeah, man. king, man. One of the kings of the one-liners, man.
Right after he tells it, he like looks up at you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To see your reaction.
Yeah. These were written for a reaction. Written specifically for the people that were reading them. Some of them.
Yeah.
But definitely.
Like, and all of them that read them, whenever they read them like Norm would read them.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, they all sound like they're written by, they sound like they're reading like Norm, or they're written by Norm. Like, definitely, you could tell. Yeah. You could tell his jokes, man. It's, yeah, man. Very amazing character, man. Definitely.
Yeah. Yes, I think you said somebody named Steve was writing some jokes.
I think it is.
Who the hell is Steve?
They had to blame it on somebody, like claim somebody for it. So
I guess Steve got to think like Norm.
Maybe it's the
for
producer.
A little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Got
a mind just like Norm.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Trump is a friend of yours.
Yes.
I think you would. I know him casually. I've never seen from the man in my meetings with him any trace of racism, any trace of malice.
So what do you make of his campaign, which has traces of racism and traces of malice?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's obviously playing some sort of character.
He's got a part here. The part is he's running for president.
Yes, exactly. And so I don't know whether to be afraid or not. You know what I mean? There have been in this country times when people like Huey Long or somebody like that came along that raised a little terror in people. But I think personally our democracy is bulletproof to any sort of any chance at fascism, and I don't think Donald Trump even is going that way. But if people are afraid of that, I think our democracy denies that.
Do you think he's demagogic? That's not a word, is it?
Demagogic? Yeah, that's a word. Well, I guess by dictionary definition he is, because he's. I think maybe the ruin of Donald Trump will be this addiction to playing the halls. You know what I mean? That maybe he doesn't want to be president of the United States as much as he wants to be the president of whatever room he's playing that night, which I can understand as a stand-up comedian, which maybe you can understand because you go and you speak.
Yeah.
And it's aphrodisiacal, to get in front of these people and have...
It's the biggest high of all.
It's amazing.
And they laugh. That's... Right?
Absolutely.
There's no bigger joy.
So
when he gets the applause, that's enough.
I think that's what he loves. I don't know if he wants to be president. What I don't think he'll win. I think he will start a giant television network.
Yeah, him and Roger Ailes.
And Larry King, maybe.
The Trump Network.
The Trump Network.
And how about Norm MacDonald with comedy specials weekly?
I would be your apprentice. On the Trump Network.
You recently said of Trump, by the way, you've got to be able to apologize and you've got to be able to say you're wrong. You have to have some humility. Why doesn't he seem to have that?
I don't know.
I know him and I don't know.
I mean, maybe...
Did you try to take a picture with him and he snubbed you?
Well, it was a kind of a funny thing. I was on the Jimmy Fallon show, and I was watching it. He was the first guest, and people, were the next day saying that Jimmy was too easy. As if Jimmy's Douglas Edwards or something. He's just a guy, just a kid that loves everybody. So he's not gonna, he may have lost his chance to, moderate Meet the Press, but I don't think that was ever his goal. But so Donald came. It was only a couple minutes between when one guest leaves and the other comes in. So I was in the hall with him. He was with the Secret Service. And he knows me, So I said, Donald, a picture. And he goes, I love this guy, and he's talking to a Secret Service guy. He goes, I love this guy. I'll take a picture, just 1 minute. And he turned around, and then he walked to the elevator and got on it. So, I did make a few comments about him, and I haven't spoken to him since then. And I always wonder, oh, gosh, I hope he didn't read those comments and like his humility, because I do think that humility is a huge... important thing for a person to have, you know? Maybe one of the most important.
Oh, everybody will be humble sometime.
One day, absolutely.
You're not a big fan of Hillary's, are you?
Right. No, I don't like
Why
Hillary.
don't you like Hillary?
I don't like her anyway. Well, because I think she's the most corrupt person that we've ever had in the White House. I mean, there's so many terrible things that she's done that we forget. But there was one that, I don't know why this was swept under the rug, but, you know, she went into the IRS and looked at political enemies' tax returns.
Nixon did that.
Yeah, well, absolutely Nixon did that. Yeah, she's a
Nixonian
figure.
You know that Hillary did that?
Well, as much as I know anything. I mean, this was reported, and it was a thing for a very short time because the news cycles go so quickly. And maybe nowadays, Nixon, you know, Watergate would have just been a Friday night story that would have disappeared on Monday.
Watch new episodes of Larry King Now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on demand on Aura TV and Hulu.
All right, everybody, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 5 seasons, my next guest has played Allison Parker, one of the many dysfunctional but gorgeous residents of Melrose Place. Please welcome Courtney Thorne-Smith. Norm, you're sick, and you're all over her like a bear rug. Just leave her alone.
No, you know, because before, during the commercial, I was saying I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
And then you said you did, too.
I said I did. When you were on Day by Day, I developed this big crush on you, and this whole talk show is a scheme to get you here.
I liked her when she was on the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. Not the Tomorrow Show, but the Later Show.
He says to me in the break.
You have no idea who I am.
Yeah, no, I know from that show. That's all.
He says to me, "Oh, I really like her. I saw her. I really think she's great. I really have a crush on her." And I said, "Where? You know? You saw her at Melrose Place?" He said, "No, I was watching Tom Snyder, and she was on, and she was a great guest." And I said, "Wait a minute, that's the show that's opposite our show. Why aren't you watching our show, pal?"
Because I wasn't on it that night.
All right, no, stay. We have exciting stuff to talk about. You've been on this show, Melrose Place, for 5 years.
For 5 years.
And now you're leaving. Why are you leaving?
It's time. You know? I mean, how many times do you
like
be
Oprah.
fired, rehired, drunk, sober?
I understand.
know.
I understand.
Thank you.
Yes, I see. You mean you got tired of, like, because they had your character pretty much go insane, you know, go through all these really weird...
Allison has been through so much. I was sexually harassed, carjacked, had an affair with a married man who then tried to rape me and then shot himself while on the phone with me. I was drunk, sober. While getting sober, though, I got to have an affair.
Did he do all that stuff while on the phone with you, or just shot himself? Wait, I'm curious.
No, I was on the phone in the office, which makes it really awkward.
All right, okay.
And he was in Seattle, and he shot himself.
Oh, my God.
While he was on the phone. I know.
Yeah, and so you finally said there's no more that this character can do, right?
I can't do any more. I've been married and divorced and widowed, and it's too much.
What's going to happen in the season finale? Can you give us a tip for all those fans out there? What's going to happen?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
You'd be mad at
Good
me
night,
if I
everybody.
did.
We had a good time. No, I mean, but give us some sense of, like, is it one of those? Because every year they try and have a season finale where everybody gets into a Zeppelin and blows up, you know? Something.
Well, now you've given it away.
It's a Zeppelin. It's a Zeppelin. All right.
Are you talking about Melrose Place? No, because
You're the biggest ass I ever met. I love you for it.
No, because I swear to God, and when I lived in L.A., I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
Place?
a Melrose Place.
Okay,
You know this, right?
Yes, it's true.
So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it, and then it's right beside my house. And every time I go out, there's all these like tourists, and these tourists, like they're always fat and they're taking pictures, standing in front of this restaurant.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the help, pal. He'll get over it. You'll see. Now, I gotta ask you about this, because we brought... Shut up. That makes it all right. Well, I want to talk to you about something, because this came up earlier in the show accidentally, because I didn't know what Norm was going to talk about tonight, and it's best sometimes if I don't know. But he mentioned Carrot Top. You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay. You've made a movie with Carrot Top. It's not out yet.
No, it's
Can you
not
put
out
the
yet.
picture up of Carrot Top again, just so we can all see him? Oh, there it is again. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Wait a minute. She left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. This begs the question now. Why a movie with Carrot Top?
Why a movie with Carrot Top?
I mean, no, I don't know much about Carrot Top, you know? I don't know much about him. I'm a little jealous because he's a red-haired comedian, and I felt like maybe you'd do a movie with me first, then move on to Carrot Top, then to Ralph Mal from Happy Days. You know, sort of the three. There's an order in which you do movies with the redheads. What's he like, first of all?
He's extraordinarily sweet.
Nice guy.
He really is, and he worked very hard, and he was adorable.
And he works with a lot of props and stuff, too, right?
Not in the movie.
Oh, in the movie they took his props away?
They took his props away.
That's a bad time to suddenly take away everything you know about comedy. You know, you've been using props now all your life for comedy. Now we're going to take them away when you make your first movie. Was he okay, though, with it? He was cool?
He was great. He did a wonderful job.
Do you have a scene where you and him embrace?
Yeah, lots of making out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nothing but making out.
All right.
It's like 9.5 weeks, but Carrot Top. Basically what we were doing.
Wow! I gotta check out that movie.
Is it called 9.5 Seconds? Like he's premature ejaculator.
We got it.
You know what happened? This is what happened. You know what happened? He said 9.5 seconds, and I'm looking at him because I know there's more. And I wait and wait, and I see the glimmer in the eye, and then bang! I thought you were going to, but no. But what's the movie going to be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for Courtney.
After you scare everybody else away?
No, I love this girl. I would see any movie with this girl in it. She's a beautiful lady and a talented, nice talk show guest.
Okay. As evidenced by her appearance on our rival show. All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
We're going to take a break now. We're going to have Collective Soul in a second. Courtney Thorne Smith, we hope she's still our friend. We do love you.
Norm MacDonald, my boy, the homie. Drop a like, man. Hit that like. How many of them things? 2 thou wow. We can do 2 thou wow and Norm MacDonald. Run this up, man. Jokes that'll make your jaw drop. I'm here for it. Let's get it.
But I looked on because I like learning on my Wikipedia, because I was wondering about fame, the nature of fame, because it's changed so much, you know? And when I was young, it was one thing, and now it's a whole different thing. And I was wondering how many people have been to the moon, like have actually walked on the moon. So I looked on my magic telephone, and I found out only 13 or 14 in the entire history of the world. You would think that would make you very, very famous. But no, the last guy who walked, now you'd think he would be famous for being the last guy to be on the moon. His name was Harrison Schmitt.
Man, who ever heard of him? Meanwhile, he goes all the way to the moon, hangs around there for a while, and comes back. He's not famous, but a girl with a giant ass is famous. When I was young, a man...
Why is that so true? Who is Harrison Smith?
If we being honest, though, like, if we being honest, which one would you rather know?
Stop.
Because, I mean, you know, I don't know what somebody going to the moon is doing for me until that information reaches me, but...
What's the girl with the big butt?
I'm going to look at the butt. You know what I'm saying?
What's she doing for you?
Huh?
Was she doing more things for you than Harrison Smith?
Yeah, because who's Harrison Schmidt? And nobody knows him. But we know the girl with the big butt. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's all I'm saying.
But a girl with a giant ass is famous. When I was young, a man who went to the moon was famous. And a lady with a giant ass, you'd go, can you stand over there? Because this is...
I one time worked for Otis Elevator. I don't know if you know who they are. Who? Otis Elevator. I one time worked for Otis Elevator. I don't know if you know who they are. Who? Otis Elevators. They make elevators. Okay. It's a company. And they wanted me to come up with a slogan. I thought I had a great one. Otis Elevators, they never let you down. But
when you're right,
That's so stupid.
Yo!
That's stupid.
Man, that's a huge fear of mine, though, actually. I don't know if I ever told you that, but...
Being dropped in an elevator?
Yeah, like a cable stretch in an elevator. Not like, I'm not scared of elevators, but like, man... That has to be a horrible way to go.
You talk about you want a penthouse?
Yeah, that's different though, cause the new building and they ain't gonna let that happen.
Okay.
It'd be them old buildings that, yeah, them buildings that were built a long time ago. Them be the ones, you know. I like that though.
When you're writing, you learn a lot of that. I went to a guy who was a big writer guy. He told me about things I didn't know about. Metaphors. You ever hear of them? He said, you got to use metaphors. I'm like, what's that? He's like, that's a thing. So a metaphor is like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So he's like... That means you can take a person, you know, and you can give him all the information and everything, but he still has to be the one to absorb it himself. So I was like, well, why the fuck didn't you just say that? Like, why do you have to put a horse into it? Like, what? You thought I was so stupid you need to make it into some fable? Like, what? A horse?
You're so good at stand-up, you've gotten to the point.
It sounds better when you have to, you know, elaborate it a little differently.
Right, but man, that's kind of funny.
I gotta use the horse though.
It's like what I be saying with the Southern folk when they always got like a.
Oh man,
like,
they are.
Yeah, they got
hilarious.
like a saying for everything.
Like a meat possum in us.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's a country mile. Like, what does that mean, bro? What is a country mile, bro? Okay.
A horse?
You're so good at stand-up, you've gotten to the point. You look for jokes.
Yeah.
That have the same setup as the punchline. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Can you explain that?
I remember one time, for instance, I was on a Weekend Update, and there was this guy died, Jerry Rubin, and he was a yippie.
Yes.
Not a hippie, but a yippie. I remember my dad going, "Who's that? A goddamn hippie or a yippie?" You know. And so anyways, the joke on a Weekend Update was,
Yippee! Jerry Rubin died last week. I'm sorry, Yippee! Jerry Rubin died last
Wait.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Was he doing it on purpose?
Yo,
or
wait.
No, that was an accident.
Yo, oh my God! Wait. Hold on. I gotta run that whole thing back.
hippie, but a yippie. I remember my dad going, "Who's that? A goddamn hippie or a yippie?" You know. And so anyways, the joke on a Weekend Update was,
Yippee! Jerry Rubin died last week. Oh, I'm sorry. That should read, Yippee! Jerry Rubin died last week.
Yeah!
Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
That's what he's
My
saying,
mistake
though.
completely. Just I didn't read it right.
Nah, that's what he said. That's what Howard Stern is saying too. That's hilarious. Cause he said the setup and the punch of the joke is the same. Yo, nah, that's fire. Wow, that makes me want to watch him more now. Just to see that.
My mistake completely. Just I didn't read it right.
I remember my dad's favorite joke.
Yeah.
He says he was from the farm, you know, and he says a guy comes from the city. City slicker comes and he buys a farm, and the farmer next door comes over to him and says, "Hey, now, would you like to come over to my house tonight? We're going to have a big shindig for you because you know we're neighborly here." And the city guy said, "Well, this is something that's I really like, you know, that this is why I moved to the farm, to have things like this, you know." Guy says it'll be a hell of a big party, you know. He goes, it'll be, you know, a little drinking, a little fighting, a little fucking, you know. And the city guy goes, "Well, that sounds good. What time should I be here?" And the farmer goes, "Anytime you like, just the two of us." So they would drink, then get in a fight, and fuck.
It's your dad's favorite
That was
joke.
my dad's favorite joke. And he also believed that this is a true story. When I was young, he told me that gay people showed up in the 50s.
They just showed up.
In the 1950s were the first gay people.
He believed that?
He actually did believe that. I guess because it's the first time that he encountered.
Is he not realizing what he's saying about Daddy Boy?
The way my boy looked was so funny. He said,
50s.
They just showed up.
In the 1950s were the first gay people.
He believed that?
He actually did believe that. I guess because it's the first time that he encountered one or something.
Because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock." You know? Just kidding.
Slide that in there.
Do you think this would be funny, just as a practical joke, if you just wrote a suicide note and just blamed some random guy? Do you think that would be...
That's fucked up. That's so fucked up.
Oh my God. Oh
you know,
my
like
God.
your barber or something like that, you know, you go,
I'm dead.
you know, it was all Ralph Abernathy's fault.
Yo.
Because you know the police would be compelled to go to Abernathy's barbershop. And go, "Have you ever heard of a fella named Norm MacDonald?" I go, "Yeah, he come in every couple of months for a trim." "Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he took his life because of you." Wrote it here in this letter. Would you like to keep the...
Would you like to keep the... Stupid. Would you...
Oh my God.
That's so foul.
Yo, just imagine just having especially just somebody you don't even know. He said somebody like he cut his hair, but boy, just imagine. That's comedy.
And then Ralph Abernathy would have to spend the rest of his life walking down.
Why you gotta look like...
According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne.
Why? Oh.
Cooked.
You know what else I like about the magic phone? Wikipedia. Oh, you ever use that? That's the best, man. It makes a democracy out of smartness. Everybody's equal now. You know, used to be a guy would go to school 5, 6 years, and then he'd talk to me, and I'd be like, ah. But now it's all different. I got my magic phone in my pocket. Right. So a guy will say to me, he'll go, hey, Norm, you ever hear of a fella that went by the name of Claude Monet? And I go, why, of course I have. I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm in there 20, 25 minutes, and I come back. I go, hey, listen, we were talking about Claude Monet, and I just want to say that, you know what I liked about him was his paintings. I liked the way he painted. He was a painter, and I loved how he used the paint to make paintings. And the guy goes, God damn, Norm, I've never been able to stump you in 2 years.
In what is considered a remarkably short period of time, the head of the Federal Advisory Board, Dr. Peter Mellman, has given speedy approval to a controversial new anti-obesity drug. It should be noted, however, Dr. Mellman's wife is a fat pig.
I know you're from Canada.
Yes, yes.
And do you get
rural
back?
Canada, deep rural Canada.
And do you get back there much and see the old gang, the old chums?
God, yeah. You know, I grew up, we didn't know the things that you do in the city.
City folks,
I
yes.
remember when my dad, when I was young, he took me to the first time we ever went to the city. And we saw an elevator, and by God, my dad didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what it was.
Oh, that's
and we
crazy.
see the doors, it was just magic doors to us. That's what my dad called it. The doors opened, and a big, fat, old, ugly woman in a wheelchair got in. And then the doors closed. And then the doors open again, and a beautiful blonde walks out. And my dad says, quick, go get your mother. Now, that guy was listen, he was a dirty dog, but he was a good man.
When people commit suicide, no one ever understands. You know what I mean? People commit suicide, people go, I don't understand why. And I go, you don't? Well, you live in a cotton candy house or something? What the fuck? You don't know about life?
Right.
How it only disappoints and gets worse and worse until it ends in a catastrophe? What the fuck? There's 2 reasons guys will hang themselves from the neck. One is, like we said...
He said hang them from the neck, like opposed to what? Like, what else? From the ear, yeah.
The foot.
Hanging from the foot.
Drain you.
Specified
if you
the
hang
neck.
upside down, can't you pass out and die from that or something?
You said what?
If you're hanging upside down long enough.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you die, but you definitely all the blood rushes to your brain.
Just sitting there.
Like woo.
Guys will hang themselves from the neck. One is, like we said, to escape this worthless masquerade of a life we pretend we have. And the second reason we hang ourselves from the neck is to whack off. These guys, I don't understand. It's called autoerotic asphyxiation. It's a big fancy word, but it's a filthy thing.
It's
and
a filthy thing.
This is my problem with it. The risk reward is not good.
This fool.
Nah, that is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Drop a like, Norm MacDonald. Hey man, run that up, please, because that was actually a really good video.
Yeah, that was funny.
We back into it. Let's get it.
Bye.
Thanks for nothing, Google.
What I wanted to show you is how easy it is to watch yourself and other live streams on your tablet device.
On the computer.
On the computer.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit play there.
Okay,
It's
oh,
right
I
there
see.
in my...
It's so simple.
Do you see your face?
Oh yeah, it's me with a huge fat fucking face.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble. My doctor, he said he's not a very nice guy. He said, open your mouth and say oink.
Yeah, you need to get better insurance, Norm.
Insurance? He was calling me a fat pig.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to disagree with him.
Oh, Chasm.
I'm sorry, Norm. I've got an acid tongue.
You do. You're an acid-tongued Arab.
And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? Huh? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... Yeah. I love Lost. You ever watch Lost?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with the show. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still watching it.
I watch it. I watch it on the
link.
No, yeah.
You got that working?
On the computer, where you can watch like you can watch them right after each other. So you don't have. There's no cliffhanger, you know.
Yeah,
you
I know about that.
You probably watched it 6.
Do you think I'm 80?
No, you probably watched the show though.
I did. I watched it during.
So that must have been incredibly frustrating.
No, it wasn't. Why would you say that?
Well, because I couldn't wait 30 seconds to get into it on my DVD.
Sometimes it's better to space things out, though, and discuss it with your friends, have a little talk about what happened, and then you have to wait a week, and it's delayed gratification.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That's what's fun about a book club.
We're joined by the talented trio called the Lonely Island.
Yeah,
who
you know
will be
what I
on
call
the
them?
What do you call them?
I call them Sandberg and the other couple of fellas.
The Mind Squad
The
is
other
how Rolling Stone put it.
I got a heavy foot.
There's a real stream of consciousness thing happening here, Norm.
Yeah, it's called conversation.
All right.
Are you talking about Melrose Place? No, because
You're the biggest ass I ever met. I love you for it.
No, because I swear to God, and when I lived in L.A., I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
place?
a Melrose Place.
Okay.
You know this, right?
Yes, it's true.
So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it, and then it's right beside my house, and every time I go out, there's all these retards, like tourists, and then these tourist retards, like they're always fat and they're taking pictures, standing in front of this restaurant.
Yeah? You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay. You made a movie with Carrot Top. It's not out yet.
No, it's
Can you
not
put
out
the
yet.
picture up of Carrot Top again, just so we can all see him?
She just did.
Oh, there it is again. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend.
He was great. He did a wonderful job.
Do you have a scene where you and him embrace?
Yeah, lots of making out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nothing but making out.
All right.
It's like 9.5 weeks, but Carrot Top. we were doing.
Wow. I gotta check out that movie.
Is it called 9.5 Seconds?
But what's the movie gonna be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne Smith. Well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
That's the very
I will
best
say,
kind.
in all sincerity, I know you don't like to hear these things. Emotions, you're like Nixon and
I'm like Nixon.
But I will say, I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, you know, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was...
This is Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, it's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours.
Right.
So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you. me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is, you know. Of course, that's the big story in here in Washington is the recent marriage between NBC's Andrea Mitchell and Alan Greenspan, who is 71 years old. And this is sweet, you know, I didn't know this. They wrote their own vows, you know. She promised to love, honor, and speak into his good ear. So that was it's kind of sweet, you know.
We'll see. It'll be fun. Norm, thanks for dressing up.
Hey, Sarah, listen, man. Congratulations. That's the 100th time that joke's been done tonight. But I also want to tell you, I do like that he picked Kemp. I like Kemp.
Oh, yeah?
He had a strange thing. Do you hear that quote he said? He said he's closer to minorities than the other candidates because he says he showered with a lot of black guys. Did you hear that?
What?
He says because he used to be on the Buffalo Bills.
That's right, he was a football player. Is that true? He said that?
Yeah, he said that the other day. He said he has a closer feel for the minorities because he's showered with so many black guys.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I don't know if that's, well, how you want to pick your presidents, right? Showered with a lot of black guys?
I don't know.
I mean...
You're picking Dole because he can do an impression.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, your reasons aren't much better.
If I was going to pick a guy, just because he's showered with a lot of black guys, I'd pick Andy or somebody like that, you know? You know?
People don't have to know that.
Oh, I have an announcement to read. I almost forgot. I was told to make this announcement. Table 10, wherever you are, table 10. We're sorry your waitress hasn't been there in a while. Larry King just married her. So...
Do you have a hero?
Norman Fell from Three's Company.
That's your hero?
Yeah. Mr. Roper. Yeah.
Mr. Roper?
Yeah.
That's not a good hero.
That's all I got.
Better than this guy's hero is some gay porn actor. Anyway.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So, what the hell am I? And here I am, you know, I look out, I see President Bill Clinton, you know, I see Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, you know, media mogul Rupert Murdoch, you know, broadcast legend Larry King, you know, pornographer Larry Flint, you know, Dick Morris. The list is starting to drop off a little, folks, but still, you get the idea. It's daunting. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know? It's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? We got a lot of power here, a lot of juice. Mr. Rule Arledge is here, of course, the chairman of ABC News, you know, and a lot of crazy stories coming out of that division, you know. You know, stories about this person sleeping with that person and all that, you know. Scandal after scandal. If you heard the latest, I heard this just the other day. There's a rumor that last week, a certain, I don't want to say who it is, a certain gentleman in ABC News, he went to a party and he got really drunk and he ended up having sex with his own wife. I don't know.
Norm MacDonald, hit that like button. How many?
Give me 4K.
4,000. You know what I mean? You asked. A lot of people asked for this. Yeah, apparently hates OJ, so we about to see him cook OJ for 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's get it.
Potential jurors for the O.J. Simpson case were asked to fill out a 75-page jury questionnaire this week. In the entire state of California, only one person got a perfect score. Chow Ming Wu, who after the trial plans to attend Caltech. By the way, you can now purchase a bronze statue of the Juice for only $3,395. And for an even $5 grand, you can buy one that Al Cowlings has kissed the ass of. O.J. Simpson's new fitness video was released this week, and hitting the shelves next week, Simpson's newest video, Dorf on Stalking. The crowd is torn.
I'm dead.
According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses, or treat.
Wait, why hate O.J.
And
like
the Pope
this?
came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty.
Stupid.
Real talk, though.
In other book news, Prince Charles released an autobiography in which he states that he never loved Princess Di and that his father pressured him to marry her. The book is entitled, Of Course O.J. Did It. I mean, come on. In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's you don't get worse luck than that.
Right.
And O.J. announced this week that he's coming out with a new book called I Want to Tell You. And if it's successful, O.J. will work on yet another book entitled From Football to Prison, My 25 Years of Showering with Other Men. And finally, in honor of the 50th anniversary of their first publication, Random House will be releasing special commemorative issues of many Dr. Seuss classics. The first to hit the bookshelves will be Green Eggs and Ham and O.J. is Guilty.
Why?
Judge Ito was interviewed this week by a local TV station in Los Angeles. Asked by the interviewer if it was appropriate for a supposedly impartial judge to be on TV with his case still pending, Ito said, maybe not, but how appropriate is it to kill your ex-wife?
O.J. catching bars.
Man.
Oh, my God.
It was revealed today that O.J. Simpson told police that Nicole Brown Simpson used to beat him up. He also claimed that she and Ron Goldman killed him. O.J. Simpson's lawyers have decided to skip hearings on DNA evidence and go right to trial. Asked why they did this, the lawyers replied, we want to get O.J. acquitted as speedily as possible so he can get back to doing what he does best, killing people.
Dang it. Everybody in the back.
Let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do.
Dumb. He ain't done yet.
Just bars for O.J., bro.
Well, O.J. Simpson's lawyers stopped feuding this week, finally. The Dream Team, F. Lee Bailey and Robert Shapiro, were able to put aside their differences and express their admiration for each other after O.J. threatened to cut their heads off.
God dang, man.
O.J., bruh.
According to the National Transportation Safety Board, sleepy truckers are responsible for 1,000 deaths a year. In second place, O.J. Simpson at 2 deaths a year.
Why are they...
It was revealed this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know.
Cooking OJ's boots, bro. Oh my God.
Tomorrow, Judge Lance Ito will take OJ and the jury on a tour of the now famous crime scene. For the jury, it will be their first look at the actual location. Of course, for OJ, it will be just a case of been there, done that. Judge Lance Ito was happy with the jurors' field trip to the crime scene last week. It went off without a hitch, said Ito. Not one murder. OJ's pal Al Cowlings now has a 1-900 number. For $2.99 a minute, Cowlings will tell callers that OJ is innocent. And for $3.99 a minute, he'll try to do it without laughing. And this week, Simpson defense lawyers questioned witnesses about a half-melted container of ice cream found at the murder site. The Simpson defense has seized upon the ice cream for two reasons. One, it may help fix the time of the murders. And two, it was the only thing in the murder scene without any of OJ's blood on it.
Stupid.
To illustrate the point that their client is running out of money to defend himself, O.J. Simpson's lawyer said this week that if he had to do it over again, after killing his victims, O.J. would now rob them as well.
What is
that one you find troubling? We went. Was O.J. Simpson high on speed the night of...
It's so funny because O.J. actually went to jail for stealing the Heisman Trophy. Because he won the Heisman Trophy and they took it back and he stole it and he went to jail. They put him in jail for like I think he got sentenced on some weirdo ish for like 20 years, but then he ended up getting out. Like he's out now, but that's like the last big time he did a bid. That's where he went to jail for I don't know if it was for stealing the Heisman or a trophy. I know for sure.
Troubling. We went. Was O.J. Simpson high on speed the night of the murders? Absolutely not, said defense attorney Johnny Cochran today. And a simple test of any of O.J.'s blood found at the crime scene will prove it.
Yo, if the blood don't fit.
And O.J. pal Al Cowling said this week that in looking for the truth in the O.J. Simpson case, he sometimes talks to a picture of Nicole Brown Simpson, something that in the past would have gotten him killed by O.J. F. Lee Bailey said this week that if the defense only knew what Ron Goldman's last words were, they might be able to find the real killer. You know, if you ask me, Goldman's last words were probably, hey, you're O.J. Simpson.
Yo, OJ catching the bullet, son. Definitely getting
Oh
mixed.
no, OJ has struck again. How about that?
Stop.
Not a good thing. And in court this week, Cato Kalin testified that O.J. Simpson did not appear angry before or after the period of his wife's murder. But Kalin admitted he could have been a touch edgy while he was actually murdering her. Might have been a... Hertz Rental Car Company announced this week that it will buy 520,000 vehicles, increasing its worldwide fleet 24%. In addition, they will try to find a new spokesman who won't kill his ex-wife. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, "There it is, I've been looking all over for that thing." And a new shocker in the O.J. Simpson trial. This afternoon, Judge Lance Ito dismissed yet another juror, a 45-year-old African-American male, for failing to tell the court that he had once worked for Hertz Rent-A-Car and that he had once held Nicole Brown Simpson's glasses while O.J. killed her. Dismissed
I want
Simpson.
to know what the span of this was. Like, how long was he doing this? You know what I mean? Because these are just like each individual clips, and it's hilarious how many of them.
Juror Jeanette Harris revealed in interviews this week that the jury is torn by dissension and is already divided into two camps. those who think he is guilty and those who are really, really stupid. A bad week for the prosecution of the O.J. Simpson trial. Under intense cross-examination by defense lawyer Barry Scheck, LAPD crime expert Dennis Fung admitted that he may have contaminated the crime scene when he accidentally dropped a big bucket full of O.J.'s DNA. Our top story tonight this week in the O.J. Simpson trial. After grisly photos of the murdered Nicole Brown Simpson were shown in court, O.J. turned his head away and wept. It was at that moment that he realized he would never be able to kill her again.
Why people?
Well, in a questionable move by the defense team this week, O.J. Simpson demonstrated how to stab two people at the same time.
Oh my God! Yo.
Remember 12 Angry Men, the classic courtroom drama? Well, the first film about the O.J. Simpson case is in the works. It's entitled 9 Angry Black People, 2 Scared Asians, and a White Guy Who Hasn't Spoken Since Rosa Lopez. Testimony during the final week provided some spellbinding moments. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, "Hey, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat." Well, the trial of the century is over. Late yesterday, the fate of O.J. Simpson, the most famous murder suspect in United States history, was placed in the hands of the jurors. They must now decide whether to free him or get all their heads cut off.
Yo, I need to know why he did. I want to know how long that was over.
Because he was cooking up.
I know. It felt like that after a while I started feeling like, I was like, oh, maybe he's doing it during the trial. But even during the trial, that was a lot of clips, like, just to come from that. Because I don't even know. I'm assuming that was Saturday Night Live. But drop a like. Norm MacDonald. O.J. Simpson. Let's get it.
He anchors the Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and he has recently quit the nasty habit of smoking. Norm MacDonald. Norm! Now, you're a young iconoclast, Norm. You know, the kids, they get you.
What? I was going to wear a suit, and
I don't need to. I like this old D.B. Cooper look for you, man. This is... Now,
is he the guy that jumped out of the plane?
No, no. He's married to Alice Cooper. Now, the thing remember you wrote for my first talk show?
Yeah, you gave me my first
And I used
job.
to come in the room, and you and Drake Sather had no lights on. It was like some fucking Anton LaVey Satan cult in there. And you guys used to turn out the sickest jokes ever. And everybody was always smoking. Then I see you on Saturday Night Live during the opening credits. And one of the things I like about you is you're completely unfiltered on that show. You'll say anything. And I saw in the picture you had a cigarette in your mouth. I thought, this guy just doesn't give a shit. So I asked you to come on. I find out you pussed out on me and quit smoking. What is that all about?
No, because it's bad for you. They have these fucking things on the side. You have to read the fine print where it says, it's bad.
Now, when did you first start smoking?
I started smoking when I was a kid, like when I was, I think I was like 14, and I thought, I'll look really cool like if I start smoking, because I didn't get along with anybody. So I started smoking. Wouldn't you know it, I did look cool. All of a sudden, all these broads like me and everything. Not broads, but ladies, girls, women. And it was hard though, man, because I was guilty about it all the time I smoked, because I always thought, You know, I always knew it was bad for me, you know? Like, even though some guys will say that it's good because their uncle lived long or something and he smoked, you know, and they'll go, hey, what about, you know, that old guy, you know, Burt Mustin, what about that guy, you know? And then he just because he lived long, that doesn't mean anything, right? That's just one guy. You can't, just because Burt Mustin lived long, you're all of a sudden...
You did your master's thesis on this, didn't you? Now, did people bother you a lot when you're smoking? Were people pissed off when...
Yeah, people don't like when you smoke, you know. They're bothered. Like, I gotta admit, though, secondhand smoke is bad. Like, I don't like... When I smoked, I didn't like secondhand smoke. Yeah. You know? I like that first-hand smoke because you get to suck it right out of the cigarette, you know? And the secondhand... Any fucking thing that's already been ingested by someone is not as good, you know? You know what I mean? Like a pork sandwich is delicious, but after a digested pork sandwich, that's fucking shit. You know?
You can't fight that logic, Norman. You cannot? Do you think advertising brings kids to smoking? You know, there's a lot of fight with the Joe Camel thing. Do you think they really?
Yeah, definitely they got it. Because the thing is this. The advertisers, they got to go after kids because they're not going to get adults. Like, there's not going to be a 50-year-old guy going, hey, I should start smoking. That goddamn Camel. Look at him. They got to get little children.
Joe Camel.
Yeah.
That's a frightening-looking beast.
He looks like a cock. I read it. Yeah. I didn't make this up.
And I know you don't mind first-hand cock, but...
You don't know that. Don't say that. I know how this stuff happens, man. Because a buddy of mine worked on Saturday Night Live, and he said he was a fag once as a joke. And then he said everybody comes up to him and saying, "Are you a fag?" Gay man? I mean.
Show about smoking. They thought you meant the British word for cigarette. All right.
Exactly. Can I bum a fag? That's what they say in England.
Where else? All right.
The thing about Joe Camel looking like a cock, Dennis.
Oh, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Thanks for bringing me back.
This is what I've noticed. He doesn't even look like a fucking camel. He looks so much like a cock. Because you know how it's usually subliminal?
Yeah.
Where you have to find the cock, right? This character, you have to find the goddamn camel.
Yeah, believe me, when you only get 2 humps out of a cock, it's not worth smoking. All right, now, line 2, we got a phone call for you. Although I can't believe they'd still be on the line after this departure. Line 2, we've got Beverly from Middletown, Ohio. Beverly?
Yeah, hi, Dennis. Hi, Norm.
Hi. You didn't know my name, I don't think.
Yes, I did. I watched Saturday night.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I liked it when Dennis was on it.
Yeah, I did too. I watch Dennis every Friday.
Get out of here. You're great at that, man. You're great at this. You know why? Because you don't give a shit about Dennis. You know what I mean? It's like the best thing you can do. Whenever I'd go on, they'd go, what's it like following Chevy? And I like Chevy. He makes me laugh. What the fuck do I think about Chevy? I'm trying to make a living here.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I see you, I know you're thinking the same thing. Like, screw Dennis. I'm killing. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, since nicotine is such an addictive drug, do you think someday you'll have to have a prescription to buy a pack of cigarettes?
Well, you know, they always bring up the Constitution and talk about how we should still have the right to a militia and all that. But let's face facts, this country was built on tobacco growers. So, you know, if you're going to start changing, if you're not going to change one thing because it comes from way back then, you can't change this either. There are farmers out there who make a living. Tobacco is one of the crops that got this country going. So, no, I don't think they'll ever make it illegal.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't make it illegal. I know.
I think Norm's backing me up on that. What motivated you to quit?
Well, I guess, you know, I read this thing about how it was like a phallic symbol, and my doctor went in. He said, you probably have an oral fixation, which you know what that means. Let's not kid ourselves, right? So that's why I always smoke like cigarettes instead of cigars, because if I'm gonna have I like a little white thin cock, you know?
Are we back to cocks again? I go away to Ohio, Middletown, the center of the universe, to take a nice clean call, and then I space out. I'm thinking, I can't listen to Norm for a second. I gotta get a time cue here. I come back and you're talking about having a thin white cock in your
I don't have a thin white cock. In my cock, you mean?
No.
In my mouth. No, you misunderstand. What I'm saying is this. I'm just saying
don't make the mistake of thinking I fucking listen to you.
I just want to make it clear about that cock thing. I was just saying, if I ever was gay, if they like suddenly made it mandatory or something, then I would choose the smallest cock, and I would like a guy that came fast. I don't know. I thought the subject was cock.
No, cocks is next week.
I'm sorry. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen.
And I watch SportsCenter while I'm digesting my Count Chocula, and I phone my friend, Fat Freddy. And I go, hey, you want to eat a cheese sandwich or something around 3 o'clock? I got to wait for my Count Chocula to digest, but how'd that settle with you? He goes, yeah, great. So I get together with him, and on my way I get some groceries to bring home for later, and then of course there's dinner, you know? So most of my life is finding and consuming food. So it doesn't make for a riveting read. It's incredibly repetitious. When you're writing, you learn a lot of that. I went to a guy who was a big writer guy. He told me about things I didn't know about. Metaphors. You ever hear of them? He said, you got to use metaphors. I'm like, what's that? He's like, that's a thing. So a metaphor is like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So he's like, that means you can take a person, you know, and you can give him all the information and everything, but he still has to be the one to absorb it himself. So I was like, well, why the fuck didn't you just say that? Like, what? Why do you have to put a horse into it? Like, what? You thought I was so stupid you needed to make it into some fable? Like, what? A horse? Or sometimes the metaphor part of it is true, but then the literal part is not true. Like they'll go like, that which does not kill you makes you stronger, right? Now, metaphorically, that's true. Like maybe a woman breaks your heart, you know, or life deals you a bad hand. And then the next time you're prepared for it and it doesn't hurt you as much. But literally, it's not true at all. Literally, it's that which does not kill you makes you weaker. And will probably kill you the next time it shows up. That's why I like, personally, I like the ones where the metaphor is true and the literal part is true. Like, they say like beauty is only skin deep. I think that's beautiful because it is like, you know, really what makes a person attractive is what's inside, their friendship, their conviviality, their goodwill, not this optic trick, you know? And so it has that. But also literally it's true because you could be, you know, the handsomest guy in the world, you know? You'd have like this chiseled jaw and beautiful thick mane of a hair, you know? Large shoulders and narrow waist. You guys horny? Is it just me or?
giant quads, a perfect body, 6% body fat, you know? But you take that same guy and you skin him. All of a sudden, he is not so easy on the eye. Getting old, you know. I asked my doctor, this is interesting, because I wondered, you know, I know the first two causes of death, heart disease and cancer, neck and neck, you know, to kill you. So I said to the doctor, I said, what's the third most common cause of death? What is the third? And he said, complications. I was like, that's like the doctor fucking up. Like, how is that the third? That's the third? You know, you go, hey, Doc, I can't help but noticing my father is dead. And I remember yesterday you said it was a simple operation. And he's like, yeah, we thought it was. It looks simple in the book, I'll tell you that. But you cut open a man, by God, it's all this red stringy stuff and everything. Are you a doctor? You go, no, you wouldn't have. Way too complicated for you. But you worry when you get old, you know? You're concerned, scared. I remember my grandmother, you know, she was like, I think she was like 85 at the time or something. And I looked at her, she was sitting on a chair, I said, hey, Grandma, she had a bruise, right? And I went from her wrist all the way up her arm right to her shoulder, a big bruise, purple, green, and yellow. A third of each. And I said, Grandma, where did you get that bruise? And then my grandmother said, the wind. It's like, the wind? And she said, yes, do you remember that gentle breeze yesterday? I was like, yeah, I remember. My parents were teachers, which is a noble profession, everyone says. They're fine people, but you know what's weird? They all say teachers are the real heroes. My folks, not heroic at all. And as a matter of fact, I have never met a teacher that showed any heroism. And I've known a lot of teachers because I was a student for years and years. And never once I go, hey, Barney, man, I was just looking at old man Abernathy, you know, the way he's erasing that chalk on the chalkboard, where he put the chalk earlier. And I was thinking, he cuts a heroic figure, doesn't he? No, me neither. I didn't think that either. I just heard that somewhere. And it's not that hard a job when you think about it, you know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty good job. If you have a job where you go to work, like grade 3, you go to work, and you're 50 times bigger than everybody else that you work with, that's a pretty good job. Plus, they do all the work. You do nothing. That's... How about the students? How about giving some of them a heroism? You know, the 5-year-olds that are working for free. And what do you need, really, to be a teacher anyway? What's the, you know, qualifications? Let's say you're teaching a 3rd grade. What do you need? A 4th grade education. Really, anything above that, you're overqualified, really, you know? I don't like school. I like before school. Man, do you remember that? Before you had to go to school. Man, that was the greatest time ever. I'll never forget. Those were my finest days, man. I loved them so much. I remember, like, I'd go over to Sean Kay's house, and I have a stick, and that'd be the whole day. I go, Sean, I got a stick. He'd go, God damn, we go play. It was so much fun. And then one day, suddenly I'm in school. They're dragging me in. I remember there were tears, and I'm like, what the fuck? And there were these windows that made even, you'd look out the window, and sometimes you'd see the stick, you know? And you go, God damn, do these people's cruelty know no offense? Nowadays, you know, they have the ADD and stuff like that. If a kid's in class, he's like, hey, I'd like to go out. They go, we're going to drug you. And then you won't want to get out and run around in the grass and have fun with the stick. You'll be fine. You'll be good. But anyways, I'm old now, you know. I was young. Now I'm old. Yep. I learned some things in school. But now that I'm old, things scare me, you know, and I think it's the media does it. Like, they go North Korea, you know, and I don't know, it kind of scares. It doesn't scare me that much, but it's supposed to scare you. But, like, are you really scared? Have you ever woken up, go, ah, and your wife's like, what's the matter, honey? North Korea. A little tiny country way the fuck over somewhere. I'm scared, honey, I'm scared. I'll tell you, Iraq doesn't scare me, North Korea, none of those countries scare me. There's only one country, really, that scares me in the whole country, or in the whole, what do you call it, that's bigger than a country but less than a galaxy? Earth. The entire Earth, there's only one country that frightens me, and it's the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are students of history or not, but for those of you who aren't, Germany, in the previous century of the early part, they decided to go to war. And who did they choose to go to war with? The world. So you think that would last about 5 seconds and the world would fucking win and, you know, that'd be that. But I think it was actually close. And then, I don't know how that worked, but then 30 years pass and Germany decides to go to war again. And once again, they choose as their foe the world. And now, this time they really almost win. So at this point, you would think the world would go, okay, Germany, you're fucking not a country anymore, all right? The fuck? You're not a country because you keep going to war with the world. And no one does. What do you think you are, Mars? Think you're Mars or something? But it's fun to get old, you know? Start watching old things. You know those commercials that are toward old people? You know, like I was watching, for instance, on MeTV, I was watching The $6 Million Man, right? And he was in Paris, he was jumping over the Arc de Triomphe and everything like that. And then, just by luck or coincidence, they went to a commercial, and it was a commercial starring Lee Majors, the $6 Million Man, but as he is today, like an old man. So he's jumping over, and it was for the bionic ear. And it wasn't the real bionic ear from the show, it was a fucking hearing aid. So you see him jumping over the Arc de Triomphe, and then it cuts, and then he's in a studio, and he's like, I can't hear too good out of it. This one's no good at all. This one's all right. This one may as well not even be an ear. And you go, God damn, you can't help but feel sorry for a man like that. Because you know, at one time, he got a phone call from his agent, you know? And he probably had all kinds of hope, you know? His answer is, hey, Jerome, my God, I haven't heard from you in 30 years. You got something for me? Well, let me guess. I bet I know what it is. It's that movie I wrote, The Return of the $6 Million Man, starring Ben Stiller. And then I show up as a judge for 2 minutes. Is that the one? No. Well, what is it then? No, not out of this one. Nope. Well, was that? That's a hearing aid? Well, how much does something like that pay a fellow? It's funny you say that, Jerome, because when you say it, I realize that's only 1/10 what I used to get from a single episode of, no, I won't stop, sorry. When do they have to know by? Within the hour, huh? Well, I guess then I would say, yes, I'll take that. Jerome, I have to ask you this. Is there any way in the contract that you can put in that I'm sad?
And to hear from people who've obviously been through some degree of similar thing, it must be very reassuring.
Norm was cool. Talking to Norm MacDonald was fucking sick. I was so excited about that. Especially just him. It was exactly what you'd think it'd be. It was literally just, I was walking around in my backyard, him just mumbling for an hour and a half, just like, yeah, it was great.
Right. Yeah. Norm used to do a lot of jokes about that, going back in time to kill Hitler.
Yeah,
but he said like he just thinks he would go back and he would be converted. He would just fall into the gaze of his dark black eyes.
Dude, the fucking 420 is one of my favorite comedy clips.
We came up with that on the way to the studio.
It's
we were just
so
like,
good.
I was like, dude,
you know what I'm talking about? It's 420 on their podcast, him and Norm's podcast.
We were, yeah.
And Norm's like, look, he's like 420, and he's like, you're saying it's about smoking weed.
Yeah.
He goes to the Wikipedia and he's like, oh, look at this. It was a statesman from Austria.
Yeah, I remember.
And then he starts reading about it. And then he's like, he did this.
Odd-looking duck.
Odd-looking duck, but he has black eyes. Yeah. And then he goes, oh, hold the fort. Hated Jews.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
How was it? All right, you cracked the Norm thing. I'm not. How was it? You brought him up. I wasn't going to.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
How funny was it? The 9/11 Airlines.
Oh my God!
How did you sit through this? How do you do this? 9/11 Airlines. He's like, I was drudging through blood and bones in Manhattan to find my brother. It turns out he was in Northern Canada. 9/11 Airlines reminds me of that tragedy. You know what the number one worst airline was? 9/11 Airlines. It reminds me of that tragedy. Dude.
Is that when we just started, when we looked at each other and just started laughing?
Everyone was just like, what the fuck?
I remember like when in my hardcore like atheism days, I would be like, I would never. They always talk about people like deathbed confessions.
Oh,
like,
you're gonna be begging,
dude.
You're gonna be begging,
crying like a bitch. Yeah.
It's like my favorite Norm. Just being a coward at death, like death coming to me and be like, "No, take my grandson instead, not me,
dude."
My girlfriend called me crying 2 days ago.
What were you crying
Norm.
about?
Norm.
Oh,
I was
cried
watching
at Norm.
I was watching. I tossed on his last Letterman. And she was in the other room and just heard me like, like doing that, and she came out and I was like, fine.
Yeah,
fine. Yeah, Norm got me.
That was I cried.
love that guy.
Oh,
he reached out when I was getting canceled a lot.
Really?
Yeah, and he said some really cool things. I'll share them with you after.
So
he's the best. All right, he loved comedy, and he
was
loved
the purest. He was the purest comic,
and he fucking hated this fucking woke shit.
Yeah,
he hated it. So seeing all these people like tweet about him, like, oh, I loved Norm and all this. Like, just know he fucking despised what you do. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I
think, what do I know? No. Also, it's like I felt I just posted one of his jokes, but like I didn't want to post like I loved you or something like that. Like, because who the fuck am I? Like, I need to come out and be like,
yeah,
that
you have with Norm.
It was just he reached out. He was a big when people were going through it. Norm was one of the guys that would always reach out, and yeah, that was it. Just reached out. He sent me some cool stuff about like funny will win.
Yeah,
that was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah,
he was amazing. Like, "There's a war right." I don't want to spill the beans on a nice thing, but it was like
you guys had a private thing.
Yeah, it was cool.
But
and
he
it
was
ended,
very supportive
yeah,
when you were going
he
through your
spoke
stuff.
like poetically.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah,
and it ended. One of the messages ended with like, "In a war for comedy, I think the ones with jokes will win." I was just like, "Yo,
yeah,
that's fire."
Norm MacDonald is king.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he in no way has to do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
To reach out, especially at that time, I thought was really cool.
It was 2 years ago. I mean, I was with Adam Egget most of the time in Austin. The guy, you know Adam?
Yeah, from the store, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So me and Adam went to the Cowboys-Eagles game, and we were hanging out, and the whole time, because he was best friends with Norm.
Yeah.
So he was like going through it, but he went through it the same way as like we just talked like Norm the whole time. Like the whole game, we were like, you must have. Yeah, you got hit pretty hard. You know what's worse than getting hit like that? Blood cancer. It's no good, that blood cancer. Just like that the whole time. It was great. I hope that wasn't sharing too much for Adam.
No.
But it was fun. Norm's the best.
Yeah.
Well, it was, but he died of fucking... Oh, right. I forgot he fucking vanished.
Yeah.
Norm.
Yeah.
Classic.
Nah.
It certainly helped. I didn't get... They weren't like, oh, nice, you got cancer. In fact, it definitely kept them... They chilled on me for like a year or two. I just got past it.
Oh, wow. Congrats, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
Was there anybody that reached out to you kind of that you were surprised by that was like trying to be supportive?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
There's a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
Norm MacDonald was a cool one.
Really?
Yeah, that was a cool one. I talked to him for like an hour.
No.
On the phone, yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah,
what
he's
did he
the best.
say?
He's another guy that's exactly who you think he is, you know?
Yeah.
He was just like, I don't know. I don't want to put out the private stuff, but yeah, he was awesome. All that stuff was cool. There was cool stuff. Cool stuff happened, but it was very surreal. Like I'd get off, I'd be like, holy shit, that's like top 5 for me, favorite comedians of all time. I was just walking around my backyard talking to him, and then I'd come back inside to my shitty apartment with my roommates, with my 35-year-old male roommates, and I sit back down, turn the news on, and it's like, piece of shit, Shane Gillis was fired. Bro. What a terrible person he is. There's one thing I want to say before I get out of here, and this is a dumb joke. You guys aren't going to like it, but it was, it's just a Norm MacDonald joke that I loved when he hosted the ESPYs, and I'm going to do it now. Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy this year. He's the first defensive player since Charles Woodson to win the Heisman. Congratulations, Travis Hunter, winning the Heisman. That's something they can never take away from you, unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case they can take that away from you. Well, see, a lot of you don't like me, and that's okay.
And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... Just a word of advice. Folks, before we can begin handing out our awards tonight, we must look